Now on CoastTV News.
A child shot to death. Multiple crimes reported tonight. We'll dig into the details.
Food banks working to feed the community, how you could play a role.
On the board, a white marlin has been caught at the White Marlin Open. That's something that didn't happen last year, and it could be worth a lot.
Fire fundraiser. A Georgetown guitar shop left in ashes, how this community is helping rebuild.
And we're tracking the wet and unsettled stretch of heavy rain and wind getting ready to push through. Then the latest on what's happening with Debbie and how it'll affect Delmarva in your full forecast coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
A new stage of the race. The Democrats have now solidified their ticket with just 3 months left in the election. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our news at 11. We begin tonight with the newest name in the race for the White House. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, he's the man Vice President Kamala Harris has chosen as her running mate, looking to strengthen the Democratic ticket in Midwestern states.
The announcement came just hours after Harris formally secured the Democratic presidential nomination. NBC's Bree Jackson has the latest news.
Vice President Kamala Harris unveiling her 2024 running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The two appearing for the first time together at a rally in Pennsylvania.
Welcome the next Vice President of the United States, Tim Walz.
The former public school teacher turned politician has signed off on policies ranging from protecting access to abortion to providing free meals for Minnesota students, a progressive record he defends.
My mom and dad taught us, show generosity towards your neighbors and work for a common good. I took it to Congress and to the state capitol, and now Vice President Harris and I are running to take those very values to the White House.
Supporters say the 60-year-old's background resonates with Midwestern and rural voters.
He's the kind of a guy that, let's say, if I had a breakdown in my Velomobile, he would probably stop and help me fix it.
But he has faced criticism for his handling of protests following the death of George Floyd. Some argue he should have deployed National Guard troops sooner, an argument J.D. Vance is also making.
Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis in the summer of 2020.
The Trump campaign weighing in on their opponents with this new ad.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. They're failed, weak, and dangerously liberal.
In a race this tight, political experts tell me the number 2 person on the ticket could be the difference maker.
Walz can bring that sort of Midwestern, middle of the country sensibility to the ticket and to the conversation that will play well in places like Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio.
The duo is making their case in some of those battleground states this week. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Scores of Democrats have praised the Walz pick, but interestingly, former Maryland governor and current Senate candidate Larry Hogan has also offered up his congratulations. While he isn't endorsing the ticket, he did release a tweet that in part reads, quote, "We had the chance to work together as fellow governors, and while we come from different parties, I have always appreciated his dedication to public service. I believe we need more governors at the national level because governors have to actually get stuff done. I wished him and his family well in the campaign ahead," unquote.
In big money fish news, not a single white marlin was caught last year during the White Marlin Open. But that is not going to be the problem this year. It's only day 2, and already we have a qualifying fish. This bad boy weighing in at 77.5 pounds and was caught by Ven Poole of North Carolina. He's on the boat Waste Not. All of this is subject to change, but right now, if everything holds, this would be a $4 million fish. I know at least one guy out there hoping the weather doesn't exactly cooperate too much for the rest of the week. Again, here is your big money leader, but let's look at some of the other folks hoping to fill their freezers and their bank accounts. Lance Blakemore is on the Stonecutter and is leading the Blue Marlin field with an 897.5 pound haul. That would be worth more than $500,000. The top tuna, well, so far anyway, caught by Rob Jones on the Blue Runner is 220.5 pounds. That would be good for a little more than $1 million, not a bad day's work. And finally, in the dolphin category, Patrick Field and Catch 22, they have the edge at 32.5 pounds. For their fish, it's estimated That would be worth $124,000.
Rains, winds, and stormy weather. Debbie is about to charge into both Maryland and Delaware. That has local officials taking steps to make sure people are ready. Governor Wes Moore has signed a state of preparedness declaration urging people to follow storm coverage, check on neighbors, especially the elderly, know your evacuation zone and routes, keep electronic devices charged, have backup charging devices, and make sure you're stocked up on supplies. And here's one more piece of advice from the declaration: have a plan for your household and your pets. And now let's take a live look outside into Lewis as we check on the current conditions and how Debbie could impact us here on Delmarva. We check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams tonight. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. And it's starting tomorrow, we're going to start seeing conditions deteriorate very quickly for us and stay in that basic funk, so to speak, for about 3, possibly 4 days in a row, thanks to the overabundance of tropical moisture we anticipate. We'll get to that in a moment. We're at 78 in Lewis and in Rehoboth Beach, as well as Bethany Beach, 77 right now in Milton, Millsboro, Indian River Inlet. Now, we do have a small craft advisory in effect throughout the Chesapeake Bay area, but we have 2 rainmakers. One's to our north with this frontal boundary that's beginning to sweep its way towards the south. Now, that's the top side of the meteorological wet sandwich, so to speak. To the south, we have Debbie that's still churning, and now the eye, what's left of it, is over the water, and now it has a chance to strengthen. We'll talk about the tracking of the storm and its arrival time for Delmarva specifically for us. But until then, back to you, Charlie.
Paul. New at 11, Delaware State Police arrested 3 people Sunday morning after what's been called an aggravated menacing incident at a Wawa in Millsboro. And follow me on this because it's got some twists and turns here. According to police, there was an altercation between a 25-year-old Wawa employee and a 20-year-old customer named John Willie, who is from Millsboro. This all happened around 2:30 in the morning at the Wawa on John J. Williams Highway near Long Neck Road. Punches were thrown. Willie pulled a gun. Ultimately, 3 people were arrested: the store employee, Willie, and a 20-year-old named Olivia Murphy from Clayton. According to police, Willie got into an argument with the employee. A fight broke out. Willie threatened to grab a gun and shoot the employee. Willie then did leave the store, got a gun, came back in, tried to find the employee, who is now hiding in the back of the store. Ultimately, all 3 were arrested. Willie and Murphy now facing a litany of charges. Meanwhile, the store employee was taken into custody for assault in the 3rd degree.
A fire at a Georgetown guitar workshop is not music to the ears. On Friday, firefighters responded to the building that's used for the Frets for Vets program. The nonprofit provides guitar lessons for veterans and builds guitars for them to use. Most everything in the workshop is melted or covered in ash, as you can see in this video. Everything is charred except for a box that the founder recently painted. Tom Baker says firefighters made a hole in the ceiling to help put the fire out. He says between the building and everything inside, we're looking at close to $200,000 in damage, but he says insurance is set to cover about $60,000. A GoFundMe is online raising money to cover the loss and repair the building. Lots of people are reaching out to help put back what was lost.
I lost 4 guitars that were in process for students that were going to be starting up in the next semester. I lost somewhere north of $90,000 worth of equipment to make those guitars.
Baker says he wants people in the Frets for Vets program to know that they'll still be supported during repairs. He says it will likely take until October to gut the building, replace the roof, and get the workshop back up and running so that guitar lessons can resume in the winter. We have a link to that GoFundMe on CoastTV.com.
Boxes of donated produce, that's one thing the Food Bank of Delaware is looking for. The food bank looking for fresh produce from farmers and even backyard gardens. The food bank provides canned goods and fresh produce. Kim Turner is the Vice President of Communications for the food bank and says donations of any size are extremely helpful.
Even little kids that have backyard gardens. I know my son has a raised bed garden and he donates his tomatoes to the Food Bank of Delaware. So regardless of size, every little bit makes a difference.
I got to be honest, that's delightful. Turner says the food bank helps 100 to 150 families every day. To find out more about donating, visit CoastTV.com.
The state of Maryland recently made changes to its regulations for marijuana dispensaries, and Ocean City is looking to follow suit. They want to adjust the hours of operation for retail stores. Originally, cannabis shops in Ocean City could only operate from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But now they're looking to expand and allow shops to run from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. These changes will also add rules that govern location. No shop could be within 500 feet of a school, place of worship, or public park. It's something one vacationer thinks is a no-brainer.
It should have a certain type of criteria as to where the marijuana base or whatever they want to do should be located at. Anything, of course, that is high school or elementary on down, it shouldn't even be nowhere near in that area.
The Ocean City Council approved the first reading for the cannabis law changes. The second and final reading could come during Town Council's next regular meeting on August 19th.
Happening now, the debate over offshore wind in Ocean City. It could end up in court. The town is threatening to sue. Ocean City officials say the town plans to file a lawsuit if the Bureau of Ocean and Energy Management approves U.S. Wind's project proposal. This is according to Mayor Rick Meehan, who emphasized that the town's continued disapproval of the project in a council meeting that took place earlier this week. Meehan announced that the town has hired a law firm and that co-plaintiffs have signed on to that potential lawsuit.
The 105th Annual Delaware State Fair was a success this year with its Small State, Big Fun theme. The 9-day-long fair brought in over 300,000 visitors to the fairgrounds. Despite some poor weather conditions for the final weekend, 85,000 people still showed up and showed out for the finale. The fair saw over $400,000 in livestock sales and introduced a new live stream system for such livestock events. On top of it all, over 14,000 pounds of food was donated to the Food Bank of Delaware. Preparations are already set to make the 2025 Delaware State Fair even bigger and better.
Maryland police need your help. A $22,000 reward being offered by the FBI and State Police Department for a murder of a 10-year-old boy that happened Monday night. At around 10:30 p.m. Monday, officers responded to a shooting in Salisbury. Police say when they arrived, they found the victim, a child, with a gunshot wound. The boy was taken to the hospital but did not make it. Investigators have started interviewing witnesses and residents of the area for more information, but right now there is no description of the suspect at this time. We have more news to get into this evening.
Take a look into Paris, where the Olympics are continuing. We're going to tell you where the U.S. stands in the medal counts.
And traffic trouble, how to fix it. DelDOT just might have a solution to high buildup at intersections and roundabouts.
And it looks like we're going to have some traffic problems with travel for the next 3 days in a row. As you take a look at the rain we're expecting in Cambridge Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Crisfield Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because rain from the north and from the south. I'll explain all that in detail in just 60 seconds.
The bold, creamy smoothness of Hardee's new cold brew coffee with the made-from-scratch goodness of Hardee's famous breakfast. A delicious new way to power your morning. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
Some people will stop at nothing to get your stuff. Get solid security and protect yourself from theft, fire, and accidents with American-made Rhino at Southern States in Milford. Experience peace of mind with financing available when you buy local from the only Rhino dealer on Delmarva. They'll deliver and set it up for you too. Ask about Rhino's Thank You for Your Service rebate program. Protect your stuff with Rhino. Everything else is just storage. Securing Delmarva one safe at a time. Southern States of Milford.
The greatest meal deal for your buck? Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with your choice of 2 full-size favorites, plus fries and a drink. All for just $6.99. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
I can understand if a little anxiety is hitting you now because we're concerned about Debbie coming up here. But remember, Debbie shouldn't be quite as strong for us as she was for, let's say, Florida and Georgia. But still, more than just a nuisance, that's for sure. The cold front to the north is bringing one set of rain, and then Debbie will bring some from the south. But scattered downpours, cooler but muggy for us for Wednesday. Wednesday's more of the rain that's coming from the north. Stalled out front for us as we go into Thursday with period of showers, heavy at time. But then that front, as well as that tropical moisture coming in from the south, well, that's going to combine for Friday, possibly going into Saturday. early in the morning, but really I'm thinking more Thursday, all of Friday, and then coming to an end by Saturday, provided all the projections stay as is. 77 degrees in Indian River Inlet, Lewis, Milton, as well as Millsboro, 78 in Redden, as well as Seaford. Now, it feels just like the actual temperature, so the mugginess hasn't quite kicked in for us. Our live radar is absolutely void of any rain, but we do have some concerns with winds throughout the Chesapeake Bay area, bracing for about 25-mile-per-hour winds, but that's not connected to anything related to Debbie. Debbie's still far away from us. Now, this is actually the most outer edges of Debbie, pushing throughout Elizabeth City and Norfolk, and it's prompting concerns for possible flooding, for some watches and advisories. Overall, the center of the storm is still well along the Carolina coast right now. You can see that eye kind of expanding and losing its organization right now, connected to a trough. It's on the east side, or the northeastern corner of this, where we have the most potential for possible severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. But once again, Debbie's moving to the east at about 5 miles per hour, very slow moving. And because it's moving so slow, that's why we're concerned about the possibility of flooding in the area. Take a look at its expected path. Out in the water just briefly, then going back into South Carolina, and then it's scheduled to move straight up towards Roanoke. Now, if it continues on this path, that means it's going to run just to our north and run right across the D.C. and the Baltimore area. But once again, we're on the east side of this thing, the most powerful and most volatile side of this system, okay? That being said, excessive rainfall outlook, we're going to tomorrow's over towards the Carolinas, South and North Carolina border. We're on the outskirts of it with marginal, but that marginal translates into 3 days of rain. Now, when you take a look at that, we're talking about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then coming to an end on Saturday. Even as you take a look at Wednesday, the rain comes from the north on Wednesday, but watch how this bubbles from the south as you go into Thursday. You see how everything's coming from the south on Thursday, going into Friday. We stay with a lot of it shifting over towards the west, and we could see up to 3.5 inches of rain in some cases. And then the winds, last point I want to make, out of the south at about 40 to 45, possibly 50 miles per hour. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling extended forecast. Rainy for 3 days in a row and hopefully coming to an end by Saturday morning.
Paul, thank you. Round and round they go. In an effort to keep traffic flowing, DelDOT is holding a workshop for a roundabout at Route 54 and Hudson Road. DelDOT has identified this intersection as a high crash location and is expecting to see a lot more traffic. The workshop will have updates on the design and construction schedule. People who frequently pass through here say the work is not necessary.
I think the stop signs were definitely needed, but the four-way stop is working perfectly. I think there's been one minor incident, but other than that, it has been perfect. People know how to do a four-way stop. They don't know how to do roundabouts.
The deadline for public comment for this project is September 6th.
Still to come, money streaming right out of your pocket, the fees for Disney Plus and some of its pals going up.
Plus, paying less for your burrito. Taco Bell trying to cater to inflation-weary customers, but it's not a plan that's working well for everyone.
So here's my back-to-school haul. Backpack from Cali, kicks from Luz, accessories by me, and new fast internet from Extreme. Our basic internet was not going to cut it. See you in class.
Go back to school with best in fast internet and Wi-Fi from Extreme. Save on speed from 250 meg up to 1 gig, including whole home Wi-Fi with advanced online security and parental controls. Packages start at $19.99 a month for a year. Call 844-EXTREME2 for details.
Coastal Bath takes care of their customers. Quality products, lifetime warranty, and great service.
We chose Coastal Bath Company to replace our shower because of the team there. I had worked with them professionally, and I always found them to be down to earth and friendly, and we knew we could trust that they were going to help us find exactly what we were looking for in our price range.
For a limited time, get the tile or marble look with Coastal's free laser etch design upgrade.
I am so proud of our shower, and I never want to get out.
Call Coastal Bath today.
When Roe v. Wade fell, we all got mad. Matt Meyer got to work, helping the First Aid Abortion Fund get up and running, so women can get reproductive care here in Delaware. Matt went to work protecting kids from gun violence too, reducing shootings almost 50%. As Matt's wife, I'm incredibly proud. As an emergency room doctor, I see the difference he's making. Matt will be a great governor because he doesn't just talk, he's walking the walk.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app today. This is Coast TV News at 11.
Fast food giant Taco Bell is working to bring back some of its inflation-wary customers. David Gibbs, CEO of parent company Yum Brand, is crediting Taco Bell's 10-item value menu. Yum Brands also launched or reintroduced value deals at its biggest chains, including KFC and Pizza Hut. But of the three, only Taco Bell has seen a boost to the bottom line so far, with sales jumping 5% in the second quarter. Meanwhile, KFC and Pizza Hut both saw those same store sales drop by 3%. Gibbs highlighted the fact that Taco Bell value menu consists of unique items and not just junior-sized versions of core menu items.
And while Taco Bell is getting cheaper, Disney's streaming services are set to charge you more. The media company announced price hikes across the board for its services Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN+. Beginning October 17th, U.S. subscribers to Disney+ will have to pay $2 more per month for its plans. Meanwhile, Hulu's ad-supported plan will also increase $2 a month, and its ad-free plan will rise by $1. ESPN Plus will jump by $1 per month as well. They're facing rapidly changing consumer behavior, rising costs of doing business, and a revitalized labor movement in Hollywood. Along with the price hikes, Disney said it would also add new features to Disney Plus.
Coming up in sports, the Summer League field hockey season winding down in Berlin. We're going to break down tonight's action with 1 month to go until the regular season.
Plus, getting answers. Day one of an investigative hearing into Boeing for the Alaska airline flight that had a door rip off.
And as you take a look at your Gulf forecast, ominous clouds throughout the day, and we're watching out for rain, scattered showers, and a little bit on the muggy side, so no, not so good.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
I'm Mark Stevens from Hartley, Delaware, and I utilize the USDA's Wetland Reserve Easement Program to improve wildlife habitat for deer, waterfowl, and other wildlife while improving water quality. If you have at least 10 acres of woods or wet, unproductive cropland, you may be eligible for compensation to restore and protect the wetlands on your property. To learn more about the Wetland Reserve Easement Program, contact your local USDA Service Center.
Right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Gateway Subaru, we're offering incredible savings. Save up to $3,000 on a new 2024 Subaru Outback. Plus, take advantage of great financing rates as low as 0% for 48 months. Feel the thrill and save up to $2,400 off a new 2024 Subaru Crosstrek with financing rates as low as 3.9% for 48 months. And stop by to discover the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Reel in big bucks at Ocean Downs with Hooked on Cash. 5 players will be drawn to go fishing. 3 will land free play, and 2 will net $5,000 cash. Earn entries daily and more on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Ocean Downs Casino, where the fun shines.
It's Toyota's national sales event. Swipe into end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota. Whether you're paddleboarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Right now, get a new Tacoma SR5 with low 4.99 APR financing. Or lease one for just $279 a month for 36 months.
Come in today. Ooh, like.
Toyota, let's go places.
Every home is different. Every room has a story to tell. Let us help you tell your home's unique story. Experience Furniture and More Gone Coastal and It's My Style. Our fine designs are made with real life in mind. Beautiful, functional, affordable furniture from the top brands. For every style, for every room. With up to 48 months special financing, our friendly, knowledgeable staff can show you the possibilities. Now at Furniture and More Gone Coastal and It's My Style.
Get the Coast TV News app. The latest and most up-to-date stories for your coastal community. Coastal news customized to your needs. Download the Coast TV News app on your Apple or Android devices. Coast TV, our community, your news.
Today, the National Transportation Safety Board began an investigation into the January 5th Alaska Airlines flight. The Boeing plane's door came off mid-air, leading to rapid depressurization of the cabin and minor injuries among passengers and crew. Lee Waldman explains what we heard from witnesses and the NTSB board today.
A long-awaited investigative hearing into Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 began with a stark promise from National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy.
We will not leave until all questions are asked.
7 months ago, panic in the skies after the Boeing 737-9 MAX's door plug shot off, leaving a gaping hole in the side of the aircraft.
This was quite traumatic for the crew and the passengers, and injuries we can't see, which we often don't talk about, can have profound, lasting impacts on lives and livelihoods.
A preliminary investigation by the NTSB found the plane left a Boeing factory in October, missing 4 bolts needed to secure the door. In late June, Boeing said a lack of paperwork was to blame.
You're cutting corners. You are eliminating safety procedures. You are sticking it to your employees.
That same month, Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun faced harsh criticism from elected leaders and families of victims who died in Boeing 737 MAX 8 plane crashes during a heated subcommittee hearing.
I apologize for the grief that we have caused.
This week's hearing brings renewed scrutiny to the embattled aerospace company. Homendy accused them of using Tuesday's testimony for self-promotion.
This isn't a PR campaign for Boeing. This is an investigation on what happened on January 5th.
We know there is a shakeup in leadership happening at Boeing, with the current CEO stepping down as this hearing ends Wednesday. It was previously announced he would leave at the end of the year. Kelly Ortberg, the former CEO of an aerospace supplier, will take the top job at Boeing.
In Olympic news, Team USA still #1 in overall medal count with a total of 86, and we're now #1 in golds. The next round of top countries are Great Britain, Australia, and Japan. Rounding out the bottom of the top 9 countries are South Korea, Italy, and the Netherlands.
We've reached the final round in finding out Delmarva's favorite summer game.
The games that have reached the top, well, surely big fan favorites here: swimming versus gymnastics. Let's take a look at what things are showing up on the voter numbers here. Let's see what we've got. Still pretty close, Mal.
Yeah, it's almost an even split. You've got 53% for gymnastics, 47% for swimming. When these were individual against other sports, they were both winning by a larger margin.
Big numbers there. So if you still want to vote, if you haven't voted, you can still go to CoastTV.com.
The Olympic Zone continues tomorrow night on Coast TV. This is a show that features a daily summary, showcase, and behind-the-scenes fanfare of the Paris Olympic Games. All of this is happening at 7:30 p.m. Mondays through Saturdays, right here during the games.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
As the summer winds down, so do summer leagues in all sports. Tonight, we had live field hockey action from Stephen Decatur High School. DSN's Kayla Santiago and Michelle Roberts had the call, and they have more.
Starting things off early in the first quarter, it was Bailey Griffin. She really showed up as a veteran and showed out here tonight.
Yeah, she was all over the field, creating opportunities for beach hockey and getting great crosses and finishes when she was in the circle.
See right there off the corner, that was her first goal of the contest, the first goal on the board. Ava Snell-Sire showing off what she can do, the stick work, the really good pass inside to Avery Schaaf, who gets it in the back of the cage. That was the second goal of the contest. But Blackout doing their thing in the cage as well. It was really impressive what Eden Hirsch was able to do in this contest. More action from beach hockey on the other side, doing their thing. They were fantastic here tonight and showing that they were a force to be reckoned with come fall season.
All those forwards were ready whenever the ball came into the circle to get down low and push the ball into the back of the cage.
For Michelle Roberts, I'm Kayla Santiago saying so long from Stephen Decatur High School. Beach hockey remaining undefeated in this summer league action. They come out on top 5-0 against Blackout. We send it back to the Wawa Studios with more.
Parkside season begins on September 6th. Meanwhile, Decatur takes part in the Bi-State Challenge on September 7th. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Still to come, music for Maryland. The orchestra coming to one of our coastal towns this weekend. You're watching Coast TV News at 11.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
Get to the car store now for the Summer Savings Sales Event. Choose from an awesome selection of quality pre-owned cars and trucks priced to move with best in market pricing and backed by the Car Store Certified Advantage. The Summer Savings Sales Event going on now. TheCarStoreOnline.com.
Hi, I'm Joel Wharton, Sussex County farmer. Don't wait until after harvest to plant your cover crops. Consider broadcasting or interseeding cover crops into your standing cash crop. Early establishment provides more growth potential and more soil armor over winter. It also saves time because after harvest, the cover crop is already growing and protecting the soil, cycling nutrients, and preventing erosion. To learn more about the benefits and ways to establish cover crops early, contact the Sussex Conservation District because every acre counts.
When you're close to the land and the sea, you can taste the goodness. The historic Lewis Farmers Market brings farms closer to tables. Meet the growers, talk to the people that milk the cows, and pick the perfect peaches. Organically grown fruits and vegetables, sustainable meats and eggs, A2 dairy products, artisan breads, and fresh local seafood.
The historic Lewis Farmers Market is in the park every Saturday from 8 to noon and at Crooked Hammock Brewery every Wednesday from 8 to 11:30 a.m.
Behind every champion, there's a force that never wavers. It's the voice that whispers, keep going, when the world says, give up. At County Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your unwavering support, like a coach who sees your potential, like a parent who believes in your dreams. We're here to help you reach for greatness, because your success is our success. County Bank, supporting champions in life every day. County Bank, member FDIC.
There's only one real estate agency with a tradition of generational excellence you can count on. Jack Lingo, serving Sussex County for 50 years and 3 generations as the most trusted professionals in coastal Delaware.
Sales agents that are best in class.
A rental team for your short and long-term stays.
And we can service your commercial needs.
For unparalleled integrity and a team you can depend on, list with Lingo. Jack Lingo Realtor, celebrating 50 years and 3 generations as coastal Delaware's premier family-owned and operated real estate brokerage.
Beat the summertime blues in a truck from the truck store. Heavy-duty diesels, compact trucks, and capable 4x4 crew cabs. You'll find the right truck at the right price right now. Make this a summer to remember. MyTruckStoreOnline.com.
In local entertainment news, the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra is coming to Ocean City this weekend. It's part of their Music for Maryland concerts featuring a mixture of chamber and full orchestra performances. The concert is on Sunday, August 11th at 3 p.m. The performance will be held in the Ocean City Performing Arts Center. Tickets are now on sale.
Let's take a look at the latest what's happening with Debbie. Debbie, right now you can see the eye circulating right off of the Carolina coast, expected to curve back into the Carolinas and bring some more rain. Very sluggish and slow mover, only moving to the east at about 5 miles per hour. Our umbrella giveaway winner is actually Joanne DeRocrecia of Lewis. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Our UV index is going to stay on the low side for Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, climbing a little bit more. We're looking for a skosh more sunshine by Friday. Now, you can keep up with what's happening with your forecast as well as the latest on what's happening with Debbie by calling our weather line at 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by Baird, Mandalas, Brockstead, and Federico. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling exclusive 10-day forecast. Scattered showers, and we could see a string of rain for 3 days in a row, maybe even leading into Saturday morning.
Thank you, Paul. We're definitely going to keep an eye on that. Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.